is Tallulah and this is my vlog, darling. I enjoy springing on one leg. I would recommend it. Actually, as I was doing it that time, I was thinking of the word lurch. Lurch makes me think of the Addams family. Was that man called Lurch? I don't know, but anyway, only half a head. Bonjour, Lulu. Today's question, ladies and gentlemen, isn't how to dress well in a boater, although it obviously could be. I'm giving an example, living and breathing. I'll go from all angles. Anyway, if you're boating, this might pop off, so try and pin it. Anyway, onwards and up. The question today is, I am a butcher and I've fallen in love with a vegan. Darling, I mean, I saw Romeo and Juliet last week and I would say this question reminds me of Romeo and Juliet. It is a tragedy in the making. Obviously, I mean, there's a butcher hanging around with a knife and somebody hanging around with quinoa. Anyway, opposites attract, so maybe all is not lost, but far be it from me to bang on entirely, darling. I don't want to speak for the vegan camp. No, I have an expert on board, darling. The expert du jour is Rain, all the way from some sort of commune. Hello, Rain. Nice to see you.
My name is Rain. It's not a weather phenomenon. It's real, evolved, intelligent nutrition.
An acronym.
That's what, yes, exactly. That's what the vegan diet is.
A revolved philosophy. Good to because I mean, that's commitment, ladies and gentlemen. Not only is she foregoing a cheeseburger and a hot dog, she's also changing her name. I mean, how much else can you be? Joyfully.
Yes,
not
joy.
Not oh no, my name goes. Did you like your name before Rain? One has to ask.
I did. I was just at a different stage of my life, and it was time to.
Yeah. What was your name, darling? Brenda, Pam, Beatrice.
The second one.
Pam. Got it in one.
Pamela.
That's such a great name to have lost, darling. Do you ever sometimes just allow yourself to be called Pammy? Occasionally.
That reminds me of my mother, but you know.
Well,
that's all like, water.
I mean, I'm not a psychiatrist, darling, but is there an issue?
No.
Since when have you been called Rain? Since troubled teenage years? I mean, no, I'm not an Oprah Winfrey type, but anyway, carry on. Anyway, we're not here to talk about your mother, darling, although I can one-on-one consult. I can one-on-one.
It's not about me.
No, darling.
Yeah.
So, okay, now we have a vegan and a butcher. Is it doomed? Is it doomed, darling? They're obviously in love. They're seeing beyond the plate. Yeah. There you go, darling. You put that on a t-shirt.
Nothing is a doom. Everything is a gift.
Positive thinking, darling. Yeah.
The thing that came to my mind is this Buddhist saying, drop the butcher knife.
Drop the
and
butcher.
You're a Buddha instantly.
Drop the butcher knife. But darling, that has to assume that everyone wants to be a Buddha. I mean, is it good at the Buddha top? I mean,
Well, the thing is, do we really have a choice? What do you think we're here to do on this planet?
Well, darling, listen, we're getting into a very philosophical debate, and this is purely a question about love. Is it possible for the butcher to stop carcassing, and for the can they make, or should the vegan stop her quinoa and go to the butcher side? I mean, we shouldn't just assume that the butcher has to drop his knife, darling.
We can only evolve forward and not backward.
I like you speak like. Have you ever seen Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom? I think there's a few things along that. Yep.
It was a very philosophial.
Well,
movie. It was very wise.
Very wise. I think I remember him not meeting a wise man, meeting the wise man. Because I'm thinking of what the kind of anyway. So your advice would be drop the butcher's knife, and then love will be found. Love will blossom.
And the love will be found.
The thing is, Dan, you're also asking him to stop his whole entire profession. I mean, it's not like he's hanging around a builder's site just having a cheeseburger. He's actually making the cheeseburgers.
Well, Moses had to part the sea, and he did it. So it really depends on how much faith he can muster within himself.
I like your wisdom.
Yes.
This sort of thing is missing from the modern media. Do you know, I'm very glad that you're on our show. How people are, people will have to watch this video several times to take this all in. This is deep.
This is
beyond depth, Rain. Formerly known as Pam. Darling, I almost lost my place there. Yeah. Pam, I quite like that name, Pam. No, but Rain is much stronger. So what should they, is there any way that they could compromise? Like, what does a dinner time compromise look like? Before they've lost knives and donned quinoa hats and things, what can they do for dinner tonight, for example?
Well, I can offer some practical wisdom
wisdom as well as philosophy, yeah.
Do you know that now they have veggie patties that bleed?
Ooh, like a bleeding carrot.
Not a carrot. It actually tastes
like meat.
Like meat.
It's amazing what they do in a test tube.
Exactly.
In a test tube. Can you buy it easily in a freezer
you
section?
You can get it from Wholefoods now, I heard.
Wholefoods have bleeding vegetable patties. That's something. I've just realised that patty sounds like Pammy. Anyway, sorry, that's not your name. I know that's not your name. I keep going back to that. Sorry,
Pammy's not my name either.
I know, darling. I know, darling. Patty or Pammy. You are Rain. Anyway, well, that's a great idea. We shall put the link for the bleeding veggie patty. It has to say that name isn't great. I hope that's not written on the packet.
I don't think it's the name.
You don't think bleeding veggie patty would not sell it to me, darling? I'm not joking. I mean, I'm quite a sucker for marketing, and that doesn't knock it. Anyway,
maybe for a butcher it would.
A butcher, yeah. Well, and that's what we're dealing with, butchers and things. Well, thank you very much to my vegan expert. I think we might have Rain back. The thing about it, Rain, is you know a lot. I look into your eyes and she knows a lot. I mean, I know a lot too, but you know quite a lot.
Evolved intelligence.
Evolved intelligence. I'm gonna have to think about that. I might even meditate on that, darling.
That's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
For your own, evolution.
My own evolution, darling. Watch it. Don't get above your station. I'm evolved enough, thanks. I know all about yoga and I've got a Prius. Anyway, onwards and upwards, darling. Bon appetit and thank you for coming on the show.